I think that most men who are desirable, especially African-American men who are desirable, they have options. And most of the ones who are family oriented are already married after a certain age.
I mean, just because they have options doesn't mean that they're not willing to settle down, though. I mean, that's not really been my experience. I think
when I say settle down, I mean marriage, like full out commitment, taking responsibility, and that's the reason why I said they're already married after a certain age, not like in the early 20s, mid 20s. We're not talking about at a certain age. If they're marriage minded, if they are the family guy, most of them are married.
So at what age would you say that if the man is not married, he's not good?
Many of us was taught to grow up dreaming of my wedding, not of my life, waiting to be chosen. I'm the chooser. I am choicefully single. Have you ever thought about having children? My child gave my life meaning. Are you saying my life is not meaningful?
Who did the choosing with you and your husband?
My husband.
Your relationship.
This boy paid me no mind. I saw him as a friend. He was like, I wanted to show you the way you were thinking was really twisted. I wanted to be with you.
You've been sending your boyfriend like pictures, like this the ring I want.
Oh, yes.
Maybe y'all are both doing some choosing, but you're saying, no, it's time.
It's that time.
Some women are even proposing to men.
Oh, no.
When I'm doing the choosing, the dynamic is off. If I feel like the man in this position, you might feel a little emasculated. What advice would you have for me as I'm navigating these issues being middle-aged?
Don't define yourself as being middle-aged. It's just about being a woman and understanding where you're going and what you want out of life.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go start with you first, Ms. Chamonix. I know you've been patiently waiting. You always, it's like Sonic or something like that, man. You just...
Because I don't be knowing you're gonna come to me first.
Oh, you've been sitting there quiet.
I was listening to the cult discussion. It was just going from one place to the other. I was like, oh, let me grab it. The information. So when you're asking, what I feel about the video?
Yeah. Nowadays, women are doing the choosing when it comes to dating. But do you think this throws off the dynamic in relationships?
Yeah, it throws it off.
How so?
Because you kind of want a guy to chase you, and so now guys are just chilling back, and they're like waiting for it to happen, a little lazy, and it's just, I don't know, because I look at it, it's a catch, right? Like, yes, I do think it throws it off, but I get it from the guy's standpoint, right? Because you kind of want the woman to be into you. You really do. So it gives you, it gives you a little insight on whether she's into you. So yeah, I do think it throws it off. And I do think that women are starting to be the choosers, right? Like they're starting to step into that and being more, taking the initiative to doing that. I don't know if I answer. It's late.
So do you think there's a lot of good men out there?
Ooh. I think that I have been blessed to have some great men in my life, but in totality, like in the grand scheme, I think that there are great men just for different things, right? If you're talking about, because everybody, what women are looking for is not a one size fits all. Now, if you're saying what universally women look for, then probably not. But I think that there are great people out there.
Says no, there's not a lot of good men out there.
Are we talking race-based, or we're just talking in general?
I'm just talking about in general. If you're looking for that husband or somebody that may have husband qualities, would you say that it's easily for most women that you've talked to, or either some of your personal experience, have you been able to find that man easily?
Those men are there. The commitment is not on their minds. Let me put it that way. The ones who are, let me just say this, the good men who are marriage material usually are married, or they're in a relationship at a certain age, right? Mm-hmm. I think that some men are, marriage material. They just take a little while to get to wanting to, the responsibility of being in a, to be, their responsibility. But it's just getting over that hump to wanting to be responsible. That is, it's kind of like, do I, the great men have lots of options. And sometimes it's hard for them to choose.
So then why not choose them then?
Because they have lots of options. And so at the end of the day, I do believe that men control the commitment part, right? So if you have all of these options available to you nowadays, because there's an infinite amount of people, because you have internet and all of that kind of stuff, I do believe that good men, you will always know a good man because everybody wants them.
So you don't want to get rejected.
You say what now?
Just say it's because they don't want to get rejected.
Who doesn't want to get rejected?
Women? Yeah, he asked, and why don't they just go after them?
I think they do. I think that they just don't want to be played. Like you put yourself out there, but if he's breadcrumbing you see videos, these women getting breadcrumb, like, sis, leave him alone. He ain't for you.
We're talking about good men. Hold on, wait. I'm not talking about the ones that are, I'm saying the good man.
Okay, so if we're saying the good men, unless they're young and they're just starting out, they're already married. Somebody's already got them at a certain age.
So do you think?
Winnie, can you qualify with when you saying good man? Who, like, the characteristics of the type of person you're speaking about? Because that might be the,
for me,
whatever they think is a good man. Whatever they think is a good man.
Okay.
Let's say desirable man then.
Desirable man.
Desirable.
Well, that's not necessarily, because you can be desirable, but not necessarily a good family man.
That's
what do you desire a man to not be a good family man?
Huh? No.
Do you desire a man? When I say desirable, I'm talking about like all aspects, right? I'm not just saying like
okay. So just please make sure you clarify that. I think that most men who are desirable, especially African American men who are desirable, they have options, and most of the ones who are family oriented are already married after a certain age.
I mean, just because they have options doesn't mean that they're not willing to settle down, though. I mean, that's not really been my experience. I think
when I say settle down, I mean marriage, like full out commitment, taking responsibility, and that's the reason why I said they're already married after a certain age, not like in the early 20s, mid 20s. We're not talking about at a certain age. If they're marriage minded, if they are the family guy, most of them are married.
So at what age would you say that if the man is not married, he's not good?
Who, me?
Yeah.
If he's a desirable man and he's not married, I would say like 35, 36. It's definitely a red flag.
Oh, so it's the same. Okay.
Hold on, wait. So you saying a man that reaches the age of 36, it's a red flag if he's not already married?
Yes, I do believe that's a red flag. So it depends. So nowadays, maybe not. If you're talking about my generation, absolutely, it's a red flag. And the reason why I say that is because good men, right? I guess when you say a family man, most family men aren't grown to be family men. They just grow. It's just in them. They're like that guy, right? So when I think of it, I don't think of him as playing the field or out in the streets doing. I don't think of good men being that person. You know what I'm saying? And so unless he's like a Christian guy, he's just like, I just don't want to do that. For the most part, now there are exceptions to the rule, but we're talking about what I've seen. After a certain age, that bachelor, he's been out in the street. So the damage that's in the street, he's probably responsible for half of it. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if he ain't sleeping alone, if he ain't out here I don't think of those people as being good catches.
So let me clear this up, Sweeney, because it's being conflated. She's saying desirable and good. What she's talking about is a man that has a whole lot of options that could have got the women he wanted if he didn't get her by 30 is 35 is because he didn't choose her, is what she's talking about.
Right.
Y'all are talking about general good men who may not have options. And I don't think she disqualifying those men as good men because they didn't have the options. She's speaking to a specific demographic. I talk to her about this all the time, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I wasn't confused about
That's
that.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't confused about that. I will say this though. What if he says that of all the options, there weren't any good women to choose from? They were all just cool to kick it with, but not marriageable.
Well, so even kicking. So what's your idea of kicking with it? So
smashing.
Right. And so that to me is not good.
But he says that they're not marriageable.
So this is my thing, right? Because we like to make this normal. It is not, okay. If you are a part of the streets, you are a part of the problem. Okay. So my idea of a good man is, okay, I will chill out because I haven't met anybody, but I'm not going to damage anybody along the way in my journey. So I'm going to be honest. I may have cool people I hang out with, but I'm not going to string a person along. I'm not going to, if he's been in a relationship for 3 years, like why take 3 years? You just wasted that girl's time. Or if you out here and you like, I got a date tonight, another one tomorrow, and you just out here smashing, that to me is not good character.
What if he falls somewhere in the middle?
You said what now?
What if he falls somewhere in the middle? He's not.
No. What Sweeney really means is whether there are a group of women that's categorized for recreational use only.
Okay.
No. That is